Staying calm during an argument is perhaps one of the most difficult challenges a person can face. In fact, if you always feel stressed or nervous during a conversation, you're not alone because most people feel the way you do. That's why in this video, you will learn how to keep calm and avoid embarrassing yourself when discussing with someone. Keeping your calm when you feel passionate about an idea is often easier said than done. Not only do you want to make your point, but the other person may be pushing your buttons, provoking you to respond unfavorably. And it's one of those things you know but can't always master. The more upset you become during a discussion and the quicker it escalates, the more likely you are to be in the middle of a full-blown argument with the person you're trying to discuss with. Part of that isn't your fault, as your body perceives a threat to your job, your values, or your belief. It naturally prepares you to survive a battle. Your heart rate increases, you feel stressed, and want to punch that person in the face. So before you do anything of that, here are the best techniques to try in your next argument. The first thing to do is to take deep breaths. The ability to remain relaxed and centered during a conflict depends on your ability to detense the body. Shallow breathing is the body's innate response when confronted with stress. Quashing this natural response and practicing deep breathing instead helps the body to remain calm. So when you feel anxious or angry during an argument, try to take a deep breath through the nose before slowly exhaling through the mouth. Smooth, deep breaths will cease the production of two stress hormones, adrenaline and cortisol, and as a result, it will negate the fight or flight reaction. And if you can do this technique without letting the other person know what you're doing, that's a 1 point to your advantage. The second tip is to concentrate on your body. Concentrating on any physical sensations that arise in a conflict permits you to mindfully change them. When your focus switches to the body, you can feel the tension and shallow breathing that leads to stress. When you notice your body beginning to tense, return your posture to a neutral state by relaxing your shoulders and hands. This open position communicates positivity using body language and often diffuses conflict. One additional tip to do is to drink some water, which will cool your body down and release any feeling of stress. The next tip is to concentrate on your body language. Your body language is not only a window to understanding yourself, it's also a way for others to know how you feel about them. Your opponent may get the wrong impression of you when you exhibit aggressive body language. You could come off as mad or even snobby if you aren't mindful of what you are doing. Crossing your arms, pursing your lips and slouching could give you an angry appearance even if you are not. Instead, sit straight up, place your arms in a neutral position, and keep your face relaxed. Also make sure to not take a lot of space by opening your shoulders or arms. Because taking a lot of space means you're frustrated and trying to show your dominance to the opposite person. You want to avoid doing that in an argument because this may tell people that you're stressed and can't keep up with your opponent. 4. Actively listen. One of the best lessons you can learn in life is to master how to listen to people. Because when the opposite person feels they're not being heard, he will probably make an argument against you, and as a result it will make you anxious during that discussion. So when someone is talking, focus all of your attention on what the person says. Ignore any thoughts of constructing a response. Once the person finishes speaking, you have the necessary information to respond intelligently. The fifth tip is to keep your voice down. The easiest way to embarrass yourself during an argument is by raising your voice. On the flip side, one of the easiest ways to keep calm is by lowering your voice. Voice level is also linked to blood pressure. When blood pressure reaches a certain point, it becomes more difficult to understand what's being communicated, and you will not be able to understand what's being said, nor to convince the person with your idea. So the first step is to diffuse the initial anger of the other person. You can't do this by raising your voice. On the other hand, you can quickly impart a sense of calm by making the conscious decision to lower your voice. Tip number 6 is to keep perspective. As humans, we often get blinded by our own biases. And one of the most effective ways to keep calm during an argument is to ask yourself whether the discussion is really worth getting upset about. In most cases, it's not. So keep this in mind when you start to feel angry. It can help you prevent the situation from getting out of hand. Next tip is to consider the other person's point of view. It's important to know the person you're talking to before walking into a debate. To consider how to present your point of view to them the most effectively, think about who they are and why they choose this point of view, then base your case from there. Next, don't be afraid to change. An argument is not a war where you win or lose. The goal of an argument is to come up with the correct point of view. Always remember that there are 4 sides to every story. Your side, their side, the truth, and what really happened, which is the combination of all of the variables. People tend to get frustrated when the other person has stronger arguments, and they get even angrier when they know that the truth is not with them. Don't be that person. If you find out that the opponent has a better point of view, don't be afraid to admit and change. Finally, smile. One last effective way to stay calm during an argument is to keep a smile on your face. Flashing a natural smile during the disagreement can help to put you and the other person at ease. It can relax both of you, and your kindness may help the situation resolve. By following one or more of these tips, you will assuredly feel more confident in any conflict. As a result, you'll use your emotions and self-regulation to your benefit. Doing so, you will gain the trust and confidence of people in your good and even temperament. That's it for today. If you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment below on what you think.